What's up, you guys? Alright, it is Monday morning, a little bit before 9:30 in the morning. Currently at the Flying J in Tulare. We'll be making a delivery to the Clovis, California Unified School District food warehouse, or warehouse, whatever. Waiting on this blue 579 here to go by before I can pull out of my spot. Just kind of putting along. Anyway, I got a 11 a.m. delivery. He's apparently got a stick shift and a sissy knob on his steering wheel. Some people call it a suicide knob. Some people, I call it a sissy knob, whatever. Oh shit! Come on. Now the woman right here, the woman right in front of me was pulling out and had no idea that I was trying to pull out at the same time. And she's busy talking on the phone and looking in all different directions except for mine. Let's drift out this way away from this guy. Okay, so what was it? 23, yeah, 23 pallets going off at this first stop. Tell me this guy's not gonna just be an ass. I think he's just being cautious or whatever. Even though the only thing they're holding him up is these four-wheelers that are turning into lives anyway. Okay, decided I was going to stop here for my break. I had to burn off about an hour, a little over an hour actually, closer to an hour and a half before I go check in. Or before I really need to. So I decided to do it here, Tulare. Just so you guys, yeah, because it's the last major truck stop that you're going to see between Bakersfield and the Fresno area. Clovis, if you're not familiar with it, is right on the northeast side of Fresno. You actually have to go into Fresno and then take a couple of, take Highway 99 up to Fresno. And then there are a few different state highways right there in the immediate Fresno area you're going to have to go through. Up on the northeast side of Fresno to get to Clovis. I'm right at about an hour drive from there now, or 59 miles. Yeah, it should take just a hair over an hour to get there. I thought about actually stopping, and I know there's a restaurant that has truck parking in Fresno, actually right across the street from the truck wash that I usually get my washouts done at. But I know I'm gonna probably which way is this white pickup going? That's what I figured. That's why I didn't go, because I thought there was a chance he would turn. Okay, anyway, as I was saying, it's a pretty good chance I'm going to end my day in Livingston, California at the TA. I have 3:18 left on my 70-hour clock right now. Get this flashlight back, put back away. I'll talk about that one as well in a minute here. And my buddy Daniel Finney is up in Stockton making a delivery right now, and there's a possibility we could cross paths. And really wasn't that hungry right now when I got here anyway, and which means I'm probably not going to want to eat when I get to Fresno. And even if I did, I was like, there's a possibility Daniel and I might meet up. And there's In Livingston, there's a Mexican market right across the street from the TA. They got good. They got like a Mexican restaurant or whatever. I don't know what you even want to call it. But they got good food there. So I'm kind of looking ahead to possibly eating there later on. I don't eat much every day. I'll snack here and there when I'm driving, and then I'm really just a 1 meal per day eater. We're getting on 99 northbound here. I'm going to be getting off at exit 131, which is California Highway 41 northbound. Sorry, dude, I can't move over. I would if I could, but I can't. So the route plan is 41 north. It's not a very long distance on 41, and I end up on, I believe it was State Route 180, heading eastbound. And that's also a pretty short distance. Then I will head northeast from there on, I believe it was Highway 168. And again, it's maybe a 5 or so miles or whatever it is on 168 before I will exit and enter the highway. These are all limited access roads here, I'm talking about. I'll exit 168 at North Fowler Avenue. I want to say it's exit 8. I could not read it very well on the map, but I want to say it's what it said. It was exit 8. So I'll assume that it's maybe 8 miles away from where I get onto 168 from 180. Anyway, go south on North Fowler Avenue from there. There'll be a Vaughn's grocery store there on the right side. Right there where the Vaughn's is at, there'll be an S-curve, left and then a right. Shortly, and then right after the S-curve, there'll be a three-way street on the right side. What was that? Los Altos, or something like that. There's a Spanish name. I think it was Los Altos Avenue. There'll be a right turn onto that street, which is kind of a cul-de-sac, but it looks like it has some other street branching off of it too. Some dead-end street, whatever it is. But anyway, Los Altos Avenue, I'll be turning right there. And then straight ahead at the end of the cul-de-sac there is my receiver. It's Clovis Unified School District warehouse. I did not see any, there were not any Google reviews on it. There was one rating on there, but no actual reviews. So I have nothing really to go by. I don't know if I'll park on the street there and then walk my bills in from there, or if I can just drive right into their lot and then check in or what. But it's not a very big place, but most of my load is going to be offloading at that location. I do have 3 other stops. Nice purple pickup there for you, Lisa, if you're watching. Been kind of quiet lately, so I don't know if you're watching my channel much lately. Alright, anyway. Yeah, a refresher, because I just now got the pickup of this load from Enid, Oklahoma uploaded onto the channel, but it's not public yet because I'm waiting on the high def version of it to be processed first. Once I verify that it's done processing, which will hopefully be done the case when I go to make my delivery, I'm waiting while I'm getting unloaded, that will be live for you guys. It's an over hour and a half long video, so gotta have some patience. If you don't have an attention span at all, don't worry about looking for that video. You'll see that video before you see this one anyway. But it is what it is. Trying to have some useful content. It's not just about keeping it short and entertaining. I want it to be useful. good for my kids to watch as well, but also useful for fellow JCT drivers particularly, but or anybody else who might go in the trucking industry who might go to the same customers that I'm going to. Alright, so that sums up the intro. We'll have some more footage for you when we get up to into Fresno. Again, 131 exit 131 is where I'll be getting on to Highway 41. I'll probably get you guys back on within about 5 miles or so of that exit. All right, so stay tuned, and the next scene will be that. Alright guys, we're somewhere in the neighborhood of about 5 miles out from Highway 41, and just south of the Malaga area of Fresno. Alright, so great, I've got whatever bottlenecking me here. I was already behind this guy earlier and passed him up. Then when he got in an open air, he went by and passed me back up. I thought all these guys went by. I know that JC whatever tanker truck up there, I know for sure he passed me not too long ago. I don't know about the Prax Air guy here, but alright. Yeah, it looks like he's kind of gambling a little bit lower speed anyway. So I'm going to let's go ahead and continue up past these guys. We've got Chestnut Avenue here. This is the exit I was talking about where I considered stopping here. Because there is there's that truck RV wash right there. It's usually where I get my washouts done when I'm in the area. And right across the street over here, is a restaurant, whatever, it has truck parking, and consider stopping there, but I just wasn't hungry, so it wasn't really a good enough reason I want to park there. Not to mention, I think Tulare, the Loves, or Flying J was probably a better reference point for a lot of other drivers to work with. So here's the parker where these trucks are at. Right here is the restaurant. I may end up coming back over here briefly because the Peterbilt dealer is right there. And when I left Tulare, I was talking about something about Peterbilt or KW dealer, I think, or whatever. So it turns out now, when I start my truck up, even when I don't start the engine, but I just turn the ignition switch on and it starts to initialize, whatever, there is some kind of a buzzing sound going on behind my dashboard. And I notice when it buzzes, my air conditioning system doesn't work. And then when it stops buzzing, the AC starts to work again. And the AC works great, but when I want something warmer than cold air, then that's a natural problem, because I can have the thermostat turned all the way to the highest setting, the hottest setting. And I noticed this the other night when I was going through eastern and central Arizona. I basically had to do the Flagstaff and Holbrook and Winslow and all that area. It was down into the low 50s there. And I got to a point where I kind of wanted to warm up a little bit. But I couldn't get any warm air out of the outlets. Even when I had it at the hottest setting, it just wouldn't heat up. So just kind of turned the climate control system off and dealt with it there, and probably helped keep me awake a little bit longer too, to be honest with you. But while I was burning that hour there in Tulare, I decided, because the panel was already half off because of the previous work done. It was already popped open a little bit at the top right corner of it. This would be the panel over here on the other side of my Qualcomm unit. Same panel that surrounds my brake valves and also my fifth wheel release, suspension dump, and interaxle diff, all that kind of stuff. My manual regen switch, all that stuff's right there. Behind that panel, because I figured out that the sound was coming from somewhere back there. So sure enough, I open it up and I take the panel completely out of the way, and I realize there's some kind of a valve or sensor or whatever it was mounted to the outside of I guess the AC duct right there, or the HVAC duct, whatever you want to call it, back there. And it has I'm going to be getting on 41, so I'm going to go ahead and come over here. Now, getting on Highway 41 here in a second. Change my zoom for better. And keep the map up just for traffic, so I have an idea if there's any slowdowns. I already know exactly where I need to go, even though I've never been there before, but I know exactly what I'm looking for. So I don't really need any help from the GPS, from any kind of GPS, but traditionally I've tended to like using GPS only and for no other reason, for traffic purposes. I don't know if there were, if there are going to be any slowdowns, and if so, are there good alternate routes I could use? Right lane in, it's got a motorcycle police officer coming by me here. Okay, anyway, I ended up asking one of my good friends, who's a really smart guy, why he and I get along so well, because I can actually have a good intelligent conversation with him, but he's also crazy and anyway, yeah, he told me he thought it might have been what's called a door valve. Before I even sent him a picture of it, he had told me that maybe it's one of the door valves that's like sticking or something. Because I told him about what the problem was previous, like yesterday or day before, and he was telling me that's what he thought it might have been. And then I took a picture of it and where it's at and all that. Circled the part in question and sent him the pictures and said, here, this thing right here is what's vibrating. Because I even put my hand on it and I could feel it vibrating. And then when the vibration stopped, I could feel it stop. Okay, we're going to be a short distance here on 41. We'll be eastbound on 180 after this. Remember when I was in the Walmart fleet, I one time only came over here and delivered to, I don't know if it was a Walmart or a Sam's Club store, but there's one of the two, somewhere over here. I might even be right here off Tulare Street. I could be wrong, but that was probably the only time I really got into anywhere near the actual core of Fresno. I've been through the Fresno area a lot, but never actually into the core, except for that one time when I was in the Walmart fleet. Alright, 180 eastbound and 168 coming up right here. Exit 128 Alpha. Traffic curves left. I want to be over here just... I mean, it's possible I might need that other lane anyway, but I don't know what I'm getting into here, so... Yeah, see, sometimes the lanes split when I'm in an interchange like this, and sometimes they merge back into each other at the end of the interchange. I don't know which case will be the case this time around. But normally, yeah, I tend to prefer to stay left, because more likely this lane will merge into the other one, and then the other one will merge into the rightmost lane that's already out. Alright, 168 east to Clovis and Huntington Lake. That'll be where I'll be going next. So at least I know what part I'm looking for now? Because he sent, when he saw the pictures that I sent him, yeah, he said he had reason to believe that is indeed a door valve. Because it looked like it might have had a motor on it or something. Yeah, see, this light does it here. Don't know how much it's going to cost to replace it, but it looks like a pretty easy part to change, so no point in paying a shop or dealer or whoever to troubleshoot it or to take the time to change it. That's even more money out of my pocket. Better I just go ahead and change it myself. I have the ability to. It's just I don't know if there's going to be any kind of follow-on maintenance that I might need to be concerned about, though. So when I worked on airplanes, the air conditioning system was not my specialty area. It's other basically electric environmental mechanics handled that. Stay. I'm going to come over here just in case. Should be about an 8-mile trip here. I think exit 8. I'm pretty sure it was exit 8 that I want. I know it's North Fowler Avenue. But anyway, yeah. When I was an aircraft mechanic, though, even if it wasn't me, if the electricians were breaking into that system at all, usually you'd need a system purge before putting it back together. Which purge basically is now when it comes to climate control system like that, purge means basically get any kind of contaminants out of the system before you button it up. Others, especially like liquid oxygen, that's one of the other systems that aircraft have. A lot of them have. Or even gaseous oxygen, depending on which aircraft is involved. That's another one. You had to purge the system, get any contaminants out of the line. So, yeah, especially when you're dealing with oxygen, because anytime something burns, the burning is the result of a chemical reaction between whatever it is that's burning and oxygen. So, like magnesium. Yeah, magnesium, it's something made from magnesium catch fire, then what's happening is magnesium is combining with oxygen, or reacting with oxygen. I can't move over a car. Too bad. So anyway, that's my main concern, is if I change that part, do I need to worry about anything like that most people wouldn't think to consider. Again, this isn't an aircraft though, and not a lot there, not much you contaminate. I think it just comes from there straight out to the fence and coming out into my cabin. So don't really think that's going to be a concern, but again, it's worth inquiring with somebody who knows what they're doing to verify that whether or not there is any kind of follow-on or other things I might need to concern myself with that at face value don't look like they'd be a concern. Time here is 10:21. Again, my appointment is at 11 a.m. My next drop is tomorrow morning at 3 in Modesto. So should have I got 2:23 left on my clock, so I should be able to get up to Livingston with that. Livingston will be just a little bit south of Modesto. And wouldn't, it's not very far at all from there to the receiver, so I'm in good position from there where I can run it, make the delivery tomorrow in Modesto, and then run from Modesto up to Yuba City for the next drop. And then when I'm done with Yuba City, hopefully get back down to Tracy. So I'm in position for my final drop. But I am running on recaps. When I got to Barstow yesterday afternoon, once I got through logging my post trip, I was down to 2 minutes left on my 70-hour clock. And I got just a little bit less than 7 hours back today. Fowler Avenue, 3 miles away. This is exit 6 coming up, so looks like I was correct that it is exit 8 that I'm looking for. Set my zoom. I got the Habit Burgers over here, not this exit, but the next one. Habit's a pretty good place to eat at. A good burger joint. I've never been there before. Looks like most everybody back there behind me is getting off here at this exit. That's nice. So, yeah, all I got back there now is this white minivan coming up, and then a couple of trucks further back, and maybe a pickup about a half mile behind me. Even if I don't come back down to the Peterbilt dealer here in town, it doesn't have to be right away. I can always maybe even stop at one tomorrow. I'm going to double check where the Peterbilt and KW dealers are at. If there's anything along my route in between Modesto and Yuba City that I can perhaps stop at tomorrow and inquire about that part. Maybe even get the part so I can replace it. And I still got to replace the lower coolant hose on my APU as well, and verify if my fans on the bottom of my tractor frame rail for my APU were functioning correctly. Because my APU has a tendency to shut off in warmer weather. Half mile away, I got a guy here on the on-ramp, but I cannot move over because I'm getting ready to exit. If I move over, I can't guarantee he'll let me back over to get off the freeway, so he's going to have to deal with it. It's one of those where he'll probably flip me off or something, or be mad at me for not moving over, but again, I'm getting off the freeway here. I just talked to somebody in a Facebook group from my local area, a local area Facebook group, who was just bitching about how us truck drivers never let them, won't move over for them when they're trying to get on the freeway. Like, well, this is one of these great examples. Don't expect me to move over if I'm getting ready to get off the freeway. Because too many of you will just kind of lollygag and say, hanging out there right next to me, and then won't let me back over. And then I end up missing my exit because you won't let me back over. Or I have to drop back and hopefully there's nobody behind you. And if there is somebody behind you, now I gotta hope and pray that they're gonna let me over, because you won't. Okay, it'll be a right turn here, heading south on North Fowler Avenue. Oh, I've got some traffic coming from the left. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to wait for the light to change because there's a grip of other cars coming from that side, and I need both lanes to make my turn, more than likely, so best to just be patient and wait. Oh, We'll have an opening here. All those cars in the right lane are, yeah, all these guys are getting on to 168. All right, so let's make our turn. Hey, for those of you guys who are rookies, notice how I was constantly turning my head. I was paying most of my attention to the right mirror, my tandems, but I'm also constantly looking back over to this side to double check what traffic back there on that's already on Fowler Avenue doing. I don't want somebody to come suddenly flying up on me. I wasn't expecting to fly up or whatever, and gives me an idea if I need to expedite or make some kind of maneuver to avoid a problem there. Because sometimes someone coming up in the left lane will see me go into the left lane to do my button hook turn. Even though I'm going for the right lane, I need my tractor in the left lane to get my trailer to clear the curb. And oh, that's nice. This guy's got a can of Coors right there while he's driving. That's pretty smart, dipshit. Man, I'm not gonna worry too much about what someone else is doing, and I'm not gonna demonize that when open container is actually perfectly legal in some states, just not in California. And as long as he's not drunk and not doing something unsafe that puts me at risk, and it's kind of where I'm gonna say I'm just gonna mind my own business, but I'm still going to point out the obvious. Hey, what's this guy doing with this steering right, steering left shit? I don't know. Okay, here's the S-turn I was talking about. Right after the right side, the right curve here will be a right turn that I'll be making onto Los Altos. Now, right after this baseball field, it looks like softball, baseball, whatever this is. All right, yeah. I got this pickup behind me. I don't think thankfully nobody coming here. No truck or trailer parking between 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. Okay. Well, this time of day is fair game then. So, looks like I should be okay to park here and walk up. I mean, I may be out of the way there too, but I'm going to go ahead and just park here. I'll walk my bills in because I'd rather park here and know that I'm okay here than drive up there and find out there's nowhere for me to park or something along that line. Alright, Rabbit stop off, macro 7. That is stop number 2, 0614 at 10:30. Alright guys, I'm all checked in. Should be a pretty easy setup there. I'll probably do a U-turn style setup, but that van over there now, I'm not sure.
You have 2 hours and 13 minutes of remaining drive time.
Let's see, docking. I already got my doors open. I'm ready to. He said go ahead. There's 2 sets of docks. There's the one closer to the end of the street, and then there's another set further down. He wants me to back in over here by the right in between these two vans over here. Get my tandems around that curve over there and then get turned around. Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna get it right for the. No. I figured I was gonna overshoot, so go back over here. Give myself a little bit of space. Tandems are set up so I can just go straight back and be should have no problems clearing this this straight van and the curb here, and should get me in the right direction. Even if it's not perfect, I can always adjust. Actually, it's looking really good. Really good. Get my trailer lined up with those pads. Looks like it's pretty well lined up with that line there. Hopefully that's alright. Gonna double check that they'll be able to get the dock plate across. Looks like I'm okay. I'm just not sure. I kind of think I have too much pad on that side, but looking over on this side, it looks like I have almost as much as well. So I think I'll be okay, but I'm going to get out and double check it. Alright guys, first stop is down. The dock plate is catching on the right side of my trailer right now, so he's not able to get the dock plate down. So I told him I'm going to go ahead and pump my brakes a couple times before I pull forward. Gives them enough advance warning where... There we go. Now... Yeah, he didn't want the dock plate to slam down. So, he told me when I'm ready to pull forward, he'll raise the dock, the dock plate up, whatever, and then I'd pull away, and then he'd let it lower down gently. So, all right, I'm gonna get my doors closed and seal and force lock back on, and I'll get rolling to the next stop, which will be Modesto. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pull forward over the curb, just get out of the way, and then send my depart info and a couple other little things I'm going to do first. And we'll get rolling toward, next stop will be the TA in Livingston. I plan on bedding down there until it's time to make my delivery in Modesto. If I remember right, Winco and Modesto does have a staging area. It's not huge, but it's not tiny. But I don't think they want you staging there more than a certain amount of hours or whatever before your delivery time either. I could be wrong. Alright, let me do a parallel type parking here. Kick it out like this, get my trailer angling toward the curb. Alright, the tandems are just about to hit the concrete there, so now I'll come back, watch my drive tires here, and cut back over hard to the left to get my steers over here. And it's perfect. Alright. So those of you guys who are newer to the industry, that's how you do a real world parallel parking. Lots of space here for this one, but generally that's kind of what you go for, what we do in the real world. You do parallel parkings in CDL school, for those of you guys who've never been to CDL school yet, but so those of you guys who have been to CDL school before, but maybe have never done a real world parallel parking, you notice I do it way different than what they teach it in school. In school, they always teach you, it's almost, it's kind of like you line up to like somewhere around where the side marker light on the midpoint of their trailer is lined up with the back of whatever obstacle you're going to park right behind. And then they start telling you steer max left or right, whichever applies, until you see so much of your landing gear. I think about 3/4 of your landing gear, and then stop, turn the steering wheel all the way the other way, turn and then back up some more until you see the same amount of your landing gear on the other side, and then stop again, max turn the opposite way again until you square back up with the trailer. Can that get the job done? Perhaps. I don't know. I'm sure it can. I don't like to do it that way though. As you see here, I just kind of dive into the opening here with what I can, at least, to the extent that I don't want my tandems or the side of my trailer hitting whatever might be behind me. And see, I dove in, and then I came back out to the middle of the street once I was getting close to the edge of what room I had here between me and this Toyota right here. It's I forget what those things are called. But yeah, just angle the trailer, just go straight back, just push the trailer back in a straight line until just before the tandems are about to get into the concrete part of the road and not or basically in the gutter. And then once you see that, then start turning max turn the other way max turn to get your drive tires to go in that direction. And then, but don't keep holding max turn. You're only holding max turn long enough to get the tractor angled in a certain direction from the curb. And then once the tractor's at the right angle, you got to get a feel for it. It's there's no one size fits all answer to this. So one particular backing, you might have to have the tractor pointing at a steeper angle than the same exact backing, same situation, and a different, because it's all a matter of timing. How early or late are you on the timing with it? It kind of dictates how sharp or soft your turn to get your drive tires going back over there is. And then once you have an angle that you think is going to work, just steer straight. Just go straight back. Then watch into my convex mirror over here to watch when I think my drive tire. I can't really exactly see my drive tires through either of those mirrors, short of rotating the flat mirror downward toward the ground. But I have a pretty good idea where the drive tires are at through my convex mirror. So I look at my convex instead, and when it looks like my drive tires are just almost to the gutter, that's when I start steering max the other way. All right. So, and that kind of helps you guys out with the parallel parkings. Once I get a third camera set up, or I replace my dash cam set up with a 3-camera system, and I can show you both sides, it might help you out as well there. Okay, let me send my depart stop off info. And we'll get rolling up to Modesto. Just basically 168 back to the west to 180, and then 180 straight over to 99, and then back up to Livingston. It's should be a little over an hour drive, hour and 15 or so. I would take a wild guess. So it's being about 11:10, probably be about between between 12:15 and 12:30, I would imagine. Probably closer to 12:30 when I get there. Alright guys, I'm ready to leave here. So I can only make a right turn out of this street, so I had to double check what my options were for leaving here. It looks like the most truck appropriate or truck friendly route will probably be make the right and then turn left, make the harder left on a Toll House Road and follow Toll House Road up to the east, and that'll run me into that street starts with an H. I can't remember the name of it. Herndon. Yeah, I take Herndon over to the east, and then the next street down is North Temperance Avenue. Looks like there's a medical center right there, Clovis Community Medical Center. Make a left turn right there in front of the medical center, and that'll take me right up to 168. And looks like I'm going to have a cloverleaf on-ramp to work with there. Could also make a right turn over here on this on Toll House, and then follow it back down to the next street up. I'll work my way back, but it looks like it'd be easier to work with to just, yeah, it's Toll House right there. That's what I thought. Looked like a simpler route and quicker, a shorter trip to 168. And if I go the opposite way, basically, I need to go west, but if I go east on Toll House instead, should do me better. Bunch of her signs saying whether trucks are allowed over here. Don't see anything, so it should be alright. I see houses here, which is always a concern, because if you see houses, there's a better chance that you might find truck restricted routes or something. So, and I was looking on both. That's one of the reasons why I decided to go this way, because I don't have a good way out of there that doesn't put me next to a neighborhood. And look like if I go west on Toll House to whatever that next street is, there's it's a little bit more dense neighborhood than going this way, which is why I decided I'm gonna go this way instead. Again, I use common sense, not GPS. Or at least common sense to me. Not so common sense, I guess, to some other people, but it's, I mean, I'm not trying to dig on you guys. You follow GPS, but seriously, you can't blindly follow GPS. It's going to lead you astray, at least occasionally. And then sometimes truck routes change too, so a route that looks like that your GPS might tell you is a legit route might not really be one. Like my neck of the woods, Victorville, California. Go where I live. You know what? It's four-way stop. All right. I was debating go up there to this intersection here because there's a traffic light there. I figured it might be a better option, but I need to go to this street here anyway. But the debate was, do I want a stop sign with no right-of-way, or do I want to come up here to this traffic light and make a right turn at the light? So I'll go this way. I always wait on the light to turn red or for a break in traffic here. I got one Got a pickup coming in the near lane, and then looks like I have a wide open. Well, bastard, he turned. Could have been moving like a few minutes, several seconds earlier if I had known that he was going to turn. He didn't signal, or if he did signal, it was after he just that part of his truck disappeared behind the. There was a sign over there I had to look through to see him, and if he signaled at all, the signal light, his turn signal was blocked by was obstructed by that. Alright, should be a left turn right here. And we'll stay right to get on the Cloverleaf for westbound 168. Short distance up there. I can already see 168 right there, not even maybe half a mile down the street, if even that. It's Temperance. North Temperance. Daniel Finney. You know that that name has some significance to you. It's my buddy. I might actually meet up with him, and he does sometimes watch my videos. So, I'm saying this just in case he decides to watch this video, because his wife just had a baby girl, and they named her Temperance. And I found it very peculiar that they named her Temperance, because the only place where I hear of someone named Temperance is from the TV show Bones. Dr. Temperance Brennan, the main character of the TV show Bones. Turns out, that actually was the inspiration behind them naming their child Temperance. You're gonna turn red on me, aren't you, light? I'd be shocked if this light stays green for me. Oh my god, it's staying green. Pretty good sized hospital there. It's even got like a parking garage, like a 4-level parking garage there. about 168 now. I'm gonna get back over to Highway 180, 180 west, and then 99 north. And it's all right. So we'll see you guys in Livingston on the next segment. All right. So stay tuned. Doing, you stupid ass? What the fuck are you thinking? What do you think I'm over here for? Me moving right's not an invitation for you to pass, you fucking dumb motherfucker. Move over! Fucking stupid ass people don't give a shit about safety. So you're involved in a fatal accident where maybe the person outside their vehicle there just happens to end up right in between their vehicle and the lane, and you hit them or something. I've live streamed when I live streamed a video here on Highway 99 actually, where I couldn't really move over there until where a UPS driver hit hit someone who was outside their vehicle checking on a tire that they had a problem with. Person got hit and killed because they got, I think, in between the side of their car and the lane, and UPS couldn't move over because nobody would let them over. Yeah, me moving right, I'm moving left out of the right lane in a 2-lane highway is not an invitation for you to go around me. On the don't pass me on the right. If I'm moving over to the left on a 2-lane highway, I guarantee you it's for a good reason. Double check the on-ramp there. All right, good. Alright, so now we'll go ahead and continue on to Clovis. I thought I was gonna be good there, but no. Stupid people decide to give me some more content to add to my footage. Alright guys, we're getting into Livingston area. Who's that? 3943. They've been with us for a long time too. 5 miles or so away from the exit where the TA is at in Livingston, California. That'll be where my day ends. And get a 10-hour break in here and be ready to run the rest of the way up to Modesto. Make the second of my 4 drops in the morning. Day out here, mostly clear skies, got 85-degree weather. I do see a pretty good group of clouds up there ahead, and basically to the northwest. Just can't tell how big that group. That didn't look like a huge group there. Kind of scattered actually. It could be exit 203 that I'll be getting off at. That'll be 3 miles away. Currently coming up on the Sultana Drive and Liberty Avenue exit 200. I don't think I know who 3943 is, but have them in here at all, so get the man been with JCT a long time because they had a whole bunch of diamonds on their truck. JCT gives you a diamond to put on your truck, on each side of your truck, for every anniversary you've had. So, like in my case, I currently have 2 diamonds on my truck, but I can get the third. I just haven't been to the yard since I've had my anniversary. So I would have 3 diamonds on my truck if I had been, if I could get to the yard to get the extra ones. But now this guy who just stopped one the other way, he had at least probably at least a good dozen diamonds on his truck. So that means he's been with JCT at least probably at least a dozen years. I mean, we do have some drivers here who've been around that long, but it's not a huge amount, I would say. Generally speaking, once people get to the point where their trucks are paid off, whatever, at least, let's say about half of the ones who are not with the company long enough to pay off their trucks yet, once you get to the point where they have their trucks paid off, I'd say about half of them stay and half of them go. And it continues to taper off there. Basically, it takes solo drivers about 4 to 6 years to pay off their trucks, depending on how hard they run. And team trucks usually takes about 2 to 3 years. Winton Parkway, that'll be my exit, I believe, half a mile away. I have actually done a pickup over here at Foster Farms a while back. It's probably been at least a good year since I've been there, though. That's the only time I've ever been there. I don't know that how much we actually do there. Heard of other drivers going there, but it's not very common. Alright, Winton Parkway right here. Exiting here. Cross over to the other side of the freeway, and then TA will be on the right side. We're only about 20 miles away, somewhere around that line from the... That's a weird spot for CHP to be. Oh, it looks like he's just sleeping, or there's taking a nap on it for his break, or doing paperwork. I couldn't tell. Whatever the case was, his head was pointing downward. Next. Not a bad idea either, because I used to take naps all the time when I was an aircraft mechanic. When I worked during the daytime, I usually didn't get enough sleep at night, so usually during my lunch breaks I would take a nap. And oh man, they really help out with, they make me a hell of a lot more productive on the second half of my day. Me some good Mexican food here when after I get shut down. Plenty here too. You got Panda Express across the street also. Yeah, that's something too. I haven't had Panda Express in a while. Popeyes here inside the TA, Burger King. Sometimes Burger King's alright, but they don't have much of a menu, and sometimes, most of the time, I'm not really in the mood for their food. Taco Hell. I don't know, I might just do Panda Express because I've not been there in a while. But I mean, it's hard to turn down good Mexican food. Rancho San Miguel is, I think, is what the market is called. I really don't care how close or far from the building they park. Further away is actually good for exercise. Looking kind of full here. I might have to camp out and wait for somebody to leave. Nope, don't have to. It's got at least a few spots over here, but trying to. I think this guy in front of me is getting ready to back into a spot, but I think he's waiting on Prime Link Express to get out of the way first so he can do his setup. I will probably go for one of those corner spots here straight in front of me. What is this guy doing? Is he trying to pull through into that diagonal spot there? Pretty sure this guy here is going for spot 15, 16 or 17, so I'll come forward, at least get my trailer a little bit more set up, and then just wait for him to back in. Now, it looks like the guy in 28 has a reefer trailer. Actually, what's that, 40 or whatever it is? How's it go from 28 to 40 in like 2 spots?
You have 0 hours and 29 minutes of remaining drive time.
Nuh-uh. Now this guy wants to be an asshole. I just watched that guy get off the freeway a minute ago. Fucking, I'm gonna have to park next to this guy because, yeah, this guy just came off the freeway up here. I don't really want to park next to a dry van, but maybe he's only here for. Yeah, alright, we'll put it right next to him, so I would get out of the way a little bit quicker. Oh yeah, it's going to look nice. Get my tandem a little bit further over that way. Good enough. Okay. Now, so you might have noticed I gave this guy here a thumb up to let him know, hey, I'm not going to be pulling forward to correct my setup or my position. So, as soon as I give a thumb up, it means go ahead, do what you got to do. Don't worry about me. Same. This guy next to me did the same thing for me. So, it really helps out a lot because sometimes you never know if the person backing into a spot is going to pull forward to reset or reposition, whatever. So. That's another good good tip for you guys who are newer to the industry or something, or going to get into the industry. All right, so like I said, it's we're at the TA in Livingston. Let me double check how far away I am from the receiver. Imagine it's only about 20 miles. Is that the Winco right there? Yeah. Somewhere in that ballpark. Yeah, 22 miles. So, real easy. Again, 3 a.m. delivery. And so I'll probably leave here, get my wheels moving around 2-ish. Because it doesn't take long to get over there, and it doesn't take long to get checked in once you are there. So, yeah, probably around 2-ish, I'll have wheels rolling. I will have some footage for you guys on that as well. And tomorrow will be that delivery in Modesto, and then another one at 10 a.m. in Yuba City. I'll be sure to have footage from both of those deliveries for you guys. Plenty of video viewing content for you guys to enjoy. And then the following day, I also have the delivery in Tracy. And don't know what I'll be doing after Tracy. I'm running on recaps. I've got 26 minutes left on my 70-hour clock right now, so not a lot to work with. I do have 11:07 coming back tonight, and 6:48 coming back tomorrow night. So 6:48 is not going to help me the most, but I have a 10:03 and a 10:32 coming back after that. So I think kind of sitting a little bit is actually going to help me out with the reload, because if I was to have a higher speed load, whatever, just hey, once I'm empty from the load, from the delivery I just had, there would be a better chance I'd end up with a slower speed load next, or you never know. Sometimes I may even end up having to sit longer because just no loads are available that work with my hours, and especially if they have enough trucks here. They give the loads to the drivers who actually have the hours for the loads first. They only will give a driver a load that that they don't have sufficient hours for if they just don't have enough trucks available in most cases. So something else for you guys, all right? Especially if you're a JCT driver, but this applies to any OTR driver in general. Or if you get offered a load and you don't have hours available to make on-time delivery, chances are they already know you don't have the hours. But they probably just don't have any trucks that do have hours to work with, or any trucks in the area to cover the load, and they need somebody to pick the load up and get it moving. And then once they get it moving, then they'll try to get it either repowered for on-time delivery, or get it rescheduled, whatever the case might need to be. So don't let those kind of loads bother you, concern you too much. Don't stress yourself out. You can't control stuff, so don't worry about it. Just do what you can with what you have to work with, and work efficiently, but don't stress yourself out. It's the best advice I can give when you're running on recaps. There are times where, even if you prefer to do 34-hour resets, there's going to be times where you have to do a 34. You have to run on recaps. Just deal with it. Relax. Don't need to burn yourself out or stress yourself out over stupid things like that. Right? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and end this one here. So I don't have the footage excessively long, and like I said, we're going to have plenty more to work with over the next few days. So we'll see you guys on the next delivery here at the Winco in Modesto. Okay? Thanks, you guys. Have a great day.